A few do's and don'ts. If you want to get your ex back, then you need to clean up your act. If you want to wallow in your grief and heartache, then fine. Do that out of the sight of other people. This is do number one, as far as I'm concerned. For one thing, this will help your cause in numerous ways, and for another, you'll finally become fit for human interaction. Read the earlier section called Breaking Up is Hard to Do. Anyway, this section is dedicated to helping you with a few do's and don'ts when you're attempting to get your ex back. As you go through these, remember that these are not things that are set in stone. Feel free to either use them or discard them as you see fit. The only requisite that you might want to follow is the one I gave earlier on cleaning yourself up. Really, without this one important thing done, then you will find that not only does your ex run away from you, but so does the rest of humanity. Below, I have given what started out as a short list, but which has slowly expanded over the course of my writing this book. You can think of it as a short list of the various things that you should and shouldn't do when dealing with or trying to mend your broken relationship. A sort of prelude to the things that you need to do to get your relationship back in order. Clean up your act. Since I've already been through the relevant bits of this in the earlier section, I won't go into too much detail again here. The point is that besides your joining the human race again, you will find that you grab the attention of your ex when they find that you're not as devastated as they expect you to be. That you can function properly and act like a normal human being without them by your side. Your ex will become piqued when they see that you have already moved on from the breakup. There's nothing more annoying than to see a person who has recovered from what was supposed to have been a hard breakup. This is good when you eventually show your ex that although you can live without them, you would rather live with them. Act normally. Act like you normally would, as if nothing has happened or gone wrong, as if all is right in your world when you meet your ex after the breakup, even if your heart is breaking. This will show them that you have a strong core, and if one of their complaints was that you were too weak and or clingy, this will show your ex otherwise. It will also reinforce their perception when you finally maneuver things around so that you can get back together again, that you can be without them, only that you would rather be with them than without them. Keep your dignity. Learn to keep your dignity about you, even wrap it around you like a cloak. And whatever you do, don't mix up dignity with pride, though. Pride is not a good thing to wrap yourself in, and you will pay the price for your pride later on. If you're interested more on that subject, the section called Pride Has Its Place, Learn Where It Goes, can be helpful to you. Back on the subject of dignity, this is what you need, as the very last thing that you want to do is begin ranting and raving like a lunatic. Doing this will only reaffirm for your ex that they made the right decision in leaving you. It might feel good to vent a little steam, but please, if you're going to do it, don't do it in a public place. Some things should remain private, and this is one of them. Keep a smile on your face. You should always try to keep a smile on your face, no matter what the provocation. This is true even if your ex is with another person. Learn to keep a smile pasted on your lips, your facial expression pleasant, and make a point of being nice to both of them. This is good practice, as it will show your ex that you can be a mature adult and that you have no hard feelings towards them. It will also give them food for thought when they see you that you are not a first-class so-and-so. You will also be showing your ex that there's more to you than he or she might have thought. Whatever you do, though, don't ignore or otherwise treat your ex's new love interest like a pariah. Unless your breakup occurred because of an infidelity on the part of your ex, there's a good chance that this is a rebound relationship. This means that there's a good chance that the relationship, if you can call it that, won't last very long. If you can manage to be nice during this trial period, your ex will have the option of turning back to you when the time is right. Do the unexpected. Do the unexpected. Always keep your ex guessing whether you're really heartbroken or not, and whether you harbor any ill towards them or not. Act as if all is right as rain with your world, as if nothing out of the ordinary had happened. And you'll surprise your ex out of their complacency that they know you and that they know how you'll react. And since, if your ex is the one who broke up with you, they would expect you to be devastated by their defection, the best thing that you can do would be to keep them on their toes, guessing at your unexpected reactions. This is the best way to keep people on their toes, by doing the unexpected, by reacting in ways that they wouldn't expect you to. For instance, if your ex expects you to be devastated and react in a like manner, or react like a raving lunatic, then surprise them by acting like a sane person. This is not to mean that you should act in the opposite manner of what your ex, or anyone else for that matter, might expect from you. What you need to do is keep them guessing as to what your real emotions are, because they will expect one thing from you, and you will be giving them something else. Try these 2 little words: I'm sorry. Whether you were the one that made the break or not, whether you were the one that made the mistake or not, you're still the one who wants to get back together with your ex. This means that you will have to be the one to make the first move, and you will have to be the one who makes the most effort. This will also mean that unless your ex is fully committed to the relationship, if at any time you do get back together, your new relationship with your ex could become decidedly lopsided. However, that can't be helped, and if you truly want your ex to come back to you, you might want to try these 2 little words: I'm sorry. They can work wonders if you're the one who is most at fault, and if you mean them sincerely. There's nothing like a little sincerity to get things off the ground. However, I'm sorry is a very powerful thing to say, and if you're not the one who messed up, or you're not the one who is responsible for the breakup, then uttering these words in vain could bring down repercussions on your head. If your ex is not fully committed to the relationship, you could have just handed on a platter the way for them to control the way that the relationship works and how it runs. So unless you want to get your ex back at any cost, you'll want to be very careful about how and when you utter these 2 little words. On the other hand, if you really are partly responsible for the breakup of your relationship, then you need to put aside your pride and go to your ex to make reparations for what you have done. Only if you want them back, of course. Another thing about these 2 little words that you need to know: when you say them, you need to be sincere, yes, and you also need to accept that even though there might be blame on the other side of the equation, sometimes you will not hear these words uttered back to you. Such is the power of these 2 words that sometimes the listener completely forgets that they might have had some part in the blame as well. But since your goal is to get your ex back, if you're all right with shouldering the responsibility for the downfall of your relationship, then you found the perfect way to get back in the good graces of your ex. You should also be prepared to have your words thrown back at you and repulsed. It really all depends on how and what happened to make your relationship break apart. So although you might go in all humbleness and sincerity, you might find that your advances are still repulsed. But then again, this is part of what you chose to accept when you decided to get your ex back at all costs. Don't make the same mistake twice. If you made a mistake once, say you had an affair outside of your relationship and your ex left you because of this, then don't go and make the same mistake again. If you want to have your ex back with you, at a guess, they either believe that this was a one-off experience which you won't repeat, or that you will control your behavior appropriately since you're trying to get back together with them. So don't, whatever you do, make one mistake and then get back together with your ex only to make the same mistake again. This is just not playing nice, and if you know that you'll be unable to mend your ways or that you're not willing to do so, you might as well let your ex know this from the beginning so that they can make a decision which is fully informed. This is only fair, as otherwise you will be putting both yourselves through the ringer again when things go wrong with your relationship, which they probably will if it's based on half-truths. You also need to be willing to either accept or work through any problems which you might both have before getting back together in a relationship. Otherwise, you can watch as your relationship heads for rocky waters once again.